Who really created the Catholic Church? The truth behind the history. Let us investigate one of the oldest and most debated topics in the religious sphere, the foundation of the Catholic Church. For centuries, this institution has been the central pillar of Christian faith, with billions of followers across the globe. But who is really behind its creation? Was it merely a simple manifestation of Christian faith? Or is there something darker at its foundation? There are theories claiming that the true creation of the Catholic Church is shrouded in mysteries, conspiracies, and secret political decisions. Is what we've been told over the centuries the full truth, or just a part of it? Prepare to dive into the narrative of power and control that has persisted for millennia. So, who really founded the Catholic Church? Upon investigating the official history, we see that the Catholic Church has its roots firmly planted in early Christianity, a belief system that emerged from the legacy of Jesus Christ and his apostles. After the crucifixion of Jesus, his disciples spread his teachings throughout the Roman Empire, facing brutal persecution and constant challenges. For centuries, Christianity was viewed as a rebellious sect challenging Roman power and the pagan religions that dominated the era. How, then, did a small group without military or political power survive and thrive, eventually becoming the official religion of the world's most powerful empire? Was it solely the charisma of the Christian message that enabled this ascent, or were there hidden forces working behind the scenes to change the future of religion? One of the most significant figures in this process was Emperor Constantine, whose role in consolidating the Catholic Church remained surrounded by controversy. Before his rise, Christianity was fragmented into various beliefs and interpretations. Many theologians and historians believe that Constantine saw in Christian faith an opportunity to unify the empire under a single religion that could strengthen his control over Rome's vast and turbulent provinces. Constantine was not just an emperor. He was a shrewd political strategist. His famous Edict of Milan, issued in 313 AD, guaranteed religious freedom throughout the Roman Empire. However, the true turning point occurred at the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. At this council, Constantine summoned bishops from across the empire to discuss the uniformity of Christian doctrine. It was here that the embryo of the Catholic Church, as we know it today, was formed. But why did Constantine, who previously worshipped pagan gods, decide to turn to Christianity? Did he truly convert after his famous vision of the cross before the Battle of the Milvian Bridge? Or was it all part of a carefully crafted plan to use Christianity as a tool of control? Ancient documents and political reports suggest that Constantine may have manipulated the beliefs of early Christians to consolidate his power. Some speculate that he did not view Christianity as a spiritual belief, but rather as a political strategy and an instrument of social control. During the Council of Nicaea, many alternative Christian doctrines were declared heretical and banned, while an official doctrine of Christian faith was established. How many of these decisions were directly influenced by the emperor, shaping religion to suit his interests? Constantine and the Christian leaders of the time laid the foundations for an institution that would not only survive, but also thrive for millennia. Conspiracy theories suggest that the Catholic Church was, from the beginning, a political project created to centralize power in Rome and maintain control over the masses. Some even claim that the ideals of faith and salvation were manipulated and distorted to serve the interests of an elite. From this perspective, the true creation of the Catholic Church was not a divine act, but the result of pragmatic and perhaps even obscure political decisions. This raises a question that echoes through the halls of history. Was Constantine the true founder of Catholicism, or was there something or someone behind him pulling the strings of this powerful institution? The answer to this question leads us into a complex web of conspiracies, secrets, and hidden agreements. Catholics emerged as the most powerful force in Western religion. But at what cost? Was their power based on hidden interests veiled under the guise of faith? Or was their origin truly inspired by a divine mission, guided by the teachings of Christ and his apostles? While the Council of Nicaea solidified the Church's official doctrine, many believe that forces more powerful than Emperor Constantine were involved in the formation of the Catholic Church. For some conspiracy theorists, The emergence of the Church as an organized institution was not merely the result of a visionary emperor, but of hidden influences working behind the scenes to shape history according to their interests. These theories suggest that, even before Christianity became established, secret societies and mysterious orders were already operating to obscure the idea that Christianity was used as a political tool to unify the Roman Empire. The hypothesis raises the possibility of a network of external influences, involving not only political figures but also secret groups seeking to control the empire's destiny and, consequently, the course of history. Some scholars point out that the foundations of the Catholic Church were not built exclusively on the teachings of Christ, but also on a careful adaptation of existing pagan and mystical traditions. This raises questions about the authenticity of Christianity as we know it. For example, many symbols and rituals used by the Church over the centuries have pre-Christian roots. The symbol of the cross, for instance, was used long before Christianity in pagan rituals associated with power and death. This integration of ancient elements may have been a deliberate strategy to make Christianity more acceptable and relatable to populations adhering to pagan religions. Festivities such as Christmas, for instance, were strategically placed close to the winter solstice, an important pagan celebration. Similarly, Easter coincided with spring festivals associated with fertility and renewal. Moreover, the suppression of alternative and apocryphal Christian texts during the process of doctrinal unification is one of the most controversial aspects of church history. Gospels such as those of Thomas and Mary Magdalene, which presented a more mystical and personal vision of Christianity, were declared heretical and destroyed. These texts, rediscovered centuries later, reveal a different facet of Christian faith, challenging the official narrative of the Catholic Church and suggesting that Christ's original message may have been altered to serve political interests. Another point of debate is the choice of Peter as the first pope and cornerstone of the Church. While the Catholic Church attributes this choice to divine command, some critics suggest that Peter was chosen for being more easily aligned with Constantine's interests and those of the Church's early leaders. This raises the question: if Paul, whose influence on the spread of Christianity was immense, had been considered the first leader of the Church, would history have taken a different course? Another point of significant debate revolves around the selection of Peter as the first pope and the cornerstone of the Catholic Church. According to Catholic tradition, this choice is rooted in divine command, as exemplified in Jesus' statement in Matthew 16, verse 18. "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." This passage has been interpreted as Jesus granting Peter a unique authority to lead the nascent Christian community. However, critics challenge this interpretation, suggesting that Peter's selection may have been influenced by political and strategic considerations, particularly under the reign of Emperor Constantine. Constantine, who played a pivotal role in legitimizing Christianity within the Roman Empire, may have seen Peter as a symbolically and politically advantageous figurehead. Peter's representation as a humble, fallible, and relatable leader resonated with a broader audience, making him an ideal choice to unify a fragmented Christian movement. Additionally, Peter's martyrdom in Rome and the claim that his remains lay beneath the Vatican added a layer of geographic and symbolic centrality to his role, reinforcing Rome as the heart of Christianity. On the other hand, the Apostle Paul presents a starkly different narrative. Paul was a highly educated Roman citizen with a background as a Pharisee, known for his intellectual rigor and missionary zeal. His epistles shaped much of Christian theology, emphasizing salvation through faith and the universality of the gospel. Paul's extensive travels and successful establishment of Christian communities across the Roman Empire arguably had a more direct impact on the expansion of Christianity than Peter's ministry. If Paul had been designated as the first pope, the Church might have developed along lines more focused on theological scholarship and missionary outreach rather than institutional consolidation. This alternative history prompts fascinating speculation. Paul's leadership might have led to a church less centralized around Rome and more focused on a decentralized network of communities, reflecting his epistolary ministry. Additionally, Paul's emphasis on inclusion, as seen in his outreach to Gentiles, might have influenced a broader and perhaps swifter global spread of Christianity. However, Paul's confrontational style and complex theological debates, such as those with Peter over Jewish law, could have made him a more divisive figure in unifying early Christians under a single institutional framework. The choice of Peter over Paul, therefore, represents not just a theological decision, but a foundational moment that shaped the trajectory of Christian history. Peter's image as the rock upon which the church was built provided a unifying symbol during a time when Christianity needed stability and consolidation. Yet, it also set a precedent for hierarchical authority that would define the Catholic Church for centuries to come. Whether this was divinely ordained or politically expedient remains a question that continues to spark debate among theologians, historians, and believers.